Hey, Luke Halliday here with another WandaVision weekly review. This is my thoughts on episode 5, which was quite episode to say the very least. Marvel's really left us with a tantalising cliffhanger this week on WandaVision. Despite the longer episode runtime, I was really left begging for more, with the episode ending in a shocking fashion, with the appearance of a certain character who you could say you may not have seen coming. This week's episode expands upon the series' formula thus far after last week's break from the sitcom style to give us a look at the world outside of Westview. This week we get pretty much an even split as the sitcom world continues in a 1980s style, reminiscent of Family Ties or Roseanne, alongside the ongoing events outside of the anomaly, as both begin to truly intersect. The events in the sitcom world largely revolve around Wanda and Vision, now having to be parents to young Tommy and Billy. However, unlike previous episodes, where things were slightly off kilter, the wheels are well and truly off the wagon now. Agnes is very strange. I'm quite curious about her character. In an odd moment, she asks Wanda if she would like her to take it from the top and redo her lines. Wanda and the kids are just using magic in front of Agnes without any regard for keeping their secret. And Vision comes to realise the dire situation everyone in the town is truly in. Outside of Westview, we're seeing Monica coming to her senses and admitting she was under some kind of mind control from Wanda while inside the Hex, as they've come to call it. She describes being under Wanda's control as painful and a violation of sorts. From here we learn from Commander Hayward that they have just learned that Wanda had infiltrated a secret sword base about 9 days prior and had stolen Vision's body from the facility, before presumably taking it back to Westview and somehow reanimating him. Anyways, the sword agents come up with a plan to send in a 1980s style drone to try and communicate with Wanda in order to trick the system, which re-images things to the style of that era. However, Commander Hayward had other plans and had armed the drone, which does not go well with Wanda when he decides to fire on her. She immediately walks through the barrier of the Hex and, with thick Sokovian accent fully returned, tells them leave her alone or else, just chucking the drone out there, before mind controlling all of the soldiers to aim the guns at Hayward. Wanda has never been more frightening as a character, in my opinion. Anyways, everything comes to an ugly head when Vision returns home from work after accidentally discovering that all the residents are under Wanda's mind control from his colleague Norm. He asks Wanda why there's no children in Westview, which is quite alarming. He asks her why she keeps changing the world around them, and he painfully exclaims that he can't remember his life before Westview, and that scares him. Both look like they're about to come to physical blows when Wanda admits that although she has control, she has no recollection of how it all started, which kind of, to me, implicates that somebody else is behind this, but she is kind of just going along with it because it fulfills her fantasies and whatnot. Before they can converse any further down that line of thought, though, the doorbell rings, and Wanda opens the door, and it is none other than her long-dead brother, Pietro Maximoff. Except, it isn't Pietro that we know from the MCU. It's not Aaron Taylor Johnson or whatever his name is. Instead, it's the Quicksilver from the X-Men films, as portrayed by Evan Peters. Episode ends with Darcy Lewis, who is watching from outside, exclaiming, "She recast Pietro!" And to me, that's hilarious because sitcoms of that era were famous. I mentioned Roseanne earlier. They were kind of famous for recasting characters. I think Roseanne had 3 Beckys throughout the run of the show. Anyways, it was a crazy cliffhanger to leave us on, it raised a lot of questions about what exactly is going on here. Is that just some random town member that has just been cast now as Pietro? Or is it actually the Quicksilver from the X-Men films universe who's been plucked and placed in this reality? I don't know. We'll have to see next week, find out. But I have a sneaking suspicion that this Pietro isn't all he's cracked up to be. Could he really be Mephisto, perhaps, playing one of his sick jokes at Wanda's expense? Hard to tell, but yeah, that's going to be it for my review of WandaVision Episode 5. I really enjoyed this episode. I am very excited where it's going. Evan Peters rocking up. This has completely thrown things for a loop. I have no clue where it's going right now. Anywho, that is going to be it. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next week with Episode 6. Until then, take it easy.